Your ratings are falling, Hawks. Being bothered during his lunch break wasn't something Keigo was particularly fond of. The one time of the day he could let loose in his office, ruined.
Is that so?
He could only hope his agent would understand his words in the midst of his chewing, making a point he was only half interested in the newsletter. The Hero Public Safety Commission reached out. You need to get your approval up again before they intervene.
What a mouthful.
They were never good news. The last time Keigo met with them, he was deployed as a spy, for crying out loud. Needless to say, he was still their subordinate, and rejecting their demands was nothing more than a heavenly reverie.
So, got any ideas?
Keigo put down his plastic plate, lamenting the unfinished state of his lunch. Well, there's this charity event coming up, and they're calling for—
I'm in.
Send me a time and place, and I'll be there. Sadly. It's not like he had any personal vendettas against charity events, or the public per se, but the simple fact that he had to be shoved into one to please his superiors was enough to leave a bitter taste in his mouth. Next time, he'd attend to one of his own accords. Great, I'll send it to you by email. Keigo gave the poor intern a frown, his eyebrows drawn.
Just send me a text. Sheesh.
Okay, maybe if he had paid more attention to the text, then maybe he wouldn't be stuck in this quandary of graphite and stillness.
You do this to every guy you meet?
You scoffed, eyes never once leaving the canvas before you. Yes, every model I work with is required to stand still, if that's what you were wondering. Keigo was glad he put on a smile from the start, or else you would have chewed him out for moving too much. The event was still a couple weeks away, but portraits don't grow on trees. In all fairness, Keigo was a killer model. Every magazine featuring him sells out within the hour, and the photographers he's working with never fail to shower him in compliments and praise. His charm didn't seem to carry on to drawings, apparently. As you'd put it before, he was but an over-energetic city pigeon that would chase around little kids for fun at every given opportunity. Oddly specific, but it got a chuckle out of him. It's almost done, so just stand still for a little longer.
Won't be a problem, Dove. I'm already a pro.
Keigo had to suppress another snicker as you hid behind the canvas, your face growing warm at the dumb pet name. Another tally for Hawks in his imaginary scoreboard. Although standing still for longer than 10 minutes wasn't something he could see himself doing ever again, teasing you would definitely be a must in the near future. Anything for your flushed, annoyed expression.
Your wing did the thing again.
Of course it did. Keigo wailed silently, dreading the sound of your pencil meeting the cotton before you, scratching and imposing. The passing of time seemed like a foreign concept the longer he posed in front of you. Amber eyes preying on you, every movement, every speck of graphite staining your hands, forever engraved in his mind. You didn't question his sudden quietness, too engrossed in finishing the first of many portraits you'd have to make for the event. Would every other hero be as jittery and energetic as the man standing before you? Would every other hero grow uneasy at the idea of standing still for no longer than 50 minutes? Alright, you're good to go. Startled, Keigo nearly fell off the small stool.
Oh, was that all?
You felt your eye twitch, choosing to ignore his wit. It's weird to think your portrait will probably go beyond 5 digits. Someone's gonna willingly pay to have those bushy eyebrows in their living room. Keigo choked on his spit, coughed laced with laughter overruling the silence of the studio. Where did that come from? There was a shrug and a triumphant smirk. You start to usher him out of your studio. It had to be said, but you're still cute, so I wouldn't count it as a loss. There were projects that needed your undivided attention and care. Some with scary deadlines, and a Birdman wasn't exactly someone you needed to prioritize now. See you at the event, yeah?
Wait, hey!
I want to see what it looks like. No can do. Have a great afternoon. Before he could protest, he was already out and gone from your studio, the door nearly slamming on his wings. Without much thinking, he turned around, his knuckles grazing against the door repeatedly.
Come on! Not even a sneak peek? I promise I won't tell.
Someone clearing their throat behind him tore Keigo away from the piece of wood in a heartbeat.
Endeavor-san! Nice meeting you here. You see, I left something inside, and I was just knocking, so... I don't want to know.
Okay, what was it today with everyone interrupting him?
Yep, copy that.
Keigo snapped his fingers. From the corner of his eyes, he spotted a neat pile of presentation cards, almost begging to be noticed and put to use. Fine. If you didn't feel like letting him into your heart, he'd just have to irk you over text. Knowing better than to bother Endeavor again, Keigo simply stepped out of the room, his fingers eagerly keying in the digits into his cell phone. Spoiler alert, it wasn't you who texted him back, but your assistant was a delight and set him up for another session after the event. Keigo has a strong abhorrent opinion on wearing suits. They're stuffy, constricting, and make his wings itch more than normal. Despite having a custom-made tailor suit, the sentiment of being under lock and key only ever went away as soon as he lost the jacket and shirt. Something he couldn't quite do in an event like this.
What do you mean they're running late?
Your second-in-command sighed, eyes still glued on their phone. From the brief text they had shared, Keigo would be proud to admit they'd found a friend in your friend, if that made any sense. There were some supplies left in the studio. They had to run back to go get him. Keigo sighed. Just what he needed in this trying time. But the portraits are already up if you want to check them out. Oh. Among the sea of bidders inspecting the canvases on display, Keigo's feeble attempts to get a closer look were fruitless. His wings usually gave leverage when his height failed to do so, but flapping in such a close environment would bring more trouble than it's worth. With a defeated sigh, admitting to lacking in height was disheartening. 2 of his feathers flew down to his feet, giving him the small boost he needed. He most certainly didn't expect to come face to face with himself. Minutes passed, and Keigo remained under a trance. It was simplistic, the graphite morphing to cast an umbra on portrait hawks. He could picture almost perfectly the light and shadow dancing together in both the canvas up for bidding and your skilled hands, the same ones that had left the nasty smudge on the back of his coat. Lo and behold, you were right. His unruly eyebrows were rather prominent. Sorry for the delay. The traffic was horrible, and the cab... Ugh, don't get me started on the cab, he ranted as he walked through the busy hall, chanting apologies left and right. The auction hasn't started yet, right? No, but there's someone waiting for you. You furrowed your eyebrows. The people attending were either eager to see their favorite heroes in ritzy clothing or aching to take one of them home. In a canvas, of course. Don't get me wrong, I love getting the work going, but I swear these deadlines are going to be the death of me.
No need to fret.
Keigo stepped down from his feathers, and you couldn't quite read the expression on his face. Happy? Tired? Finally becoming the paragon of tenderhearted?
I'm part of your schedule already. Booked a session all.
You mean the one I just canceled? His wings drooped, almost comically.
The one you just... what?
Teasingly, you pushed him back, consequently making him bump into someone else. I'm just messing around. I'm actually looking forward to it. You could only watch as he gave the person a brief apology, posing for a selfie milliseconds after. Ugh. Heroes.
Is that so? I thought I was a bad subject.
Keigo tugged at his collar, making a mental note to burn the shit out of his suit once he got home. The worst, actually. More people began migrating to the opposite side of the room before the auction started. But you're fun to be around, so I'll manage. Keigo couldn't contain his smile this time. It wasn't his signature smirk you'd seen flooding your timeline after his photo sessions. Rather just a simple, genuine tug of his lips. And maybe you're kinda pretty. But you didn't hear that from me. And just like that warm smile contorted into a smug smirk.
Whoa, Dub. Wasn't expecting that to come out of your pretty mouth.
You huffed, diving to give his cheek a good pinch before dragging him to follow the rest of the guest. That's one creepy way to phrase it. Now take a seat. I've got to hand out a couple of Endeavors and Headshots portraits. Keigo, still savoring the compliment like a kid would with a sweet, took an extra second to process those words.
Wait, they got more than one?
Cut to his second private session. 5 minutes after your scheduled lunch break, some leftover fries and ice cream exiled to your desk. Alright, something's on your mind. Keigo remained stationary. This time, it was just a mere pencil in your hand, waltzing on the canvas without a worry on its non-existent mind. Calculated. Precise. Free.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You sighed, tucking the pencil behind your ear, sparing the finished sketch a last glance before walking to the brooding bird before you. Your wings. They're not doing the thing.
What about it?
Well, for one, it was much easier to jot them down. I can assure you they'll look great once I paint them. Keigo shuddered as you stood closer. How did you even get a lead stain on your cheek? But I think I know you well enough to deduce something's up. You're not even being a cocky cockatiel. Keigo let out a long, long sigh.
I'm not a cockatiel.
And you're not being yourself. Come on. Why'd you even come here if you're just gonna be grumpy? A brief flash of cold, burning blue clouded his mind.
Work's just getting to me, I guess.
You weren't a pro-hero of any sorts. The only context you had regarding that chaotic world would come from whatever hashtag was trending, and the occasional hero dropping by your studio to talk business. Nevertheless, you knew how to spot and comfort a gloomy friend. You want to paint yourself?
What?
That seemed to get his attention, and it brought a smile to your face. You bit your lip eagerly. I need to go get some paints, but you look like you need some cheering up, so you're not leaving this room without painting your own portrait.
Keigo's lips trembled involuntarily, your words tugging at his already soft heart. I've never touched a paintbrush in my life. Whoa, not even at school? Homeschooled.
Your hand moved on its own, ruffling his naturally messy hair. I'll get you some acrylic paint. He could only tap his foot anxiously in your absence, running a hand across his face. The commission, as per usual, found great joy to bother him through day and night, almost as if his suffering tickled their ribs. Keigo wouldn't mind playing the part of the asshole kid who took tickling way too far when it came to them. Hero regulations and spy work be damned. Not to mention the dust-up he had with a certain cremated acquaintance a couple days back, leaving him featherless and vulnerable for a whole day. But as you approached him once again, a number of paints cradled in your arms and pockets, Keigo could feel the weight on his shoulders slowly mitigating. Okay, what do you think? Feels like the way to go? Thankfully, his wings could twitch to their content while wearing your apron. He would have been just fine painting without any safety measures, but your flabbergasted expression urged him to realize clothes are expensive. Keigo gripped the paintbrush with one hand, the other holding a red paint tube.
This can't be rocket science. I've got this.
Your boisterous laughter, as he squeezed some paint straight into the paintbrush, told him that maybe it was rocket science after all. It's not a toothbrush, Keigo! God, he loved his name rolling off your tongue. Oh my god! Next time, try cleaning the paintbrush before you start to paint with another color. He was certain your giggles could keep him going through endless crimes and stacks of paperwork. Oh, hey, that's cute. You're using different colors for your suit.
Can't have the piss color scheme spicing up my living room.
That was the final straw. You both rightfully lost it. leaning into each other to prevent falling to the floor as a result of raw elation. Even your snorts were adorable, your babbling of melody to his ears, and shrieks of amusement making his heart thump faster. At the end of the day, Keigo left the studio with a gorgeous painting, as you generously put it. The first time he truly felt unbound to everything, to be forever remembered with a mess of colors and sloppy strokes hanging proudly atop his bed. The first time Keigo ever felt truly free on canvas. Keigo fell off that you'd had to make for blah 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 blah. I was just knocking, so why is my uncle calling me via Zoom? The hell?
Is that my brother leaving?
Oh, hell yeah! World is my oyster, boys! We're officially home alone. Fuck yeah! So like Endeavor's voice is deep as fuck. Excuse me, have you seen my son? Shut up! Come on, not even a sneak peek? I promise I won't tell.
What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know? Said my lip gloss is poppin', my lip gloss is cool. All the boys keep stoppin', they chase me after school.
Ooh, that was menacing.